So as we take a look a little bit closer to some of those storms, we still have the tornado warnings in effect. I'll go ahead and stop this. We're going to start with the one where we had a confirmed tornado. Now it's just a lot of heavy rain, not a ton of rotation with these storms, or at least with this one that we're looking at. And I'm also kind of keeping an eye behind the scenes too at some other areas that could potentially spin up, and I'm really not seeing anything too worrisome right now. As for any rotation with this storm, here's that tornado warning still in effect until 10:45. They may end up canceling it early, but as for right now, it is still in effect. And as I switch over to velocity, you will notice that you're not going to be seeing any big signs of those reds and greens super close together. You're just going to have some strong winds with this and that heavy rain. And we are still seeing a ton of lightning. You can just see that on the left side of your screen. That is this storm as it moves through the area. There's another velocity update, still not seeing any tight rotation with that. So we can switch back over to reflectivity, come back over to our town of Wagner storm. We really have two storms that are technically in Wagner County. So I feel like I need to specify that this is the one that was coming out of the town of Wagner into Cherokee County. As we take a look at this one, the area that we're watching, it's past Wagner now. This is the area right here, this line stretching from Maisie Landing all the way down to the southwest side of Peggs, approaching 82 there. As we take a look at this, we're going to have some strong winds. Taking a look at the velocity, you can see that surge of wind right there, some inbound winds, the greens going in away toward the radar, the reds going away from the radar, and our radar is over at Inola, just along 412 here. So we do have some strong winds with this and some of those opposing winds pretty close together. But as we come in a little bit closer and we can put a short time lapse on this, we're just not seeing that rotation on it. We do have straight, strong outbound winds. Here's Peggs coming in close to that, so you'll likely have some strong winds coming in. But as we take, I'm going to back this up in time just a little bit. And it's just very, very broad rotation. We're not seeing any tight rotation with that. New severe thunderstorm warning for Maize, Rogers, Tulsa, and Wagner counties. And tornado warning continues for Cherokee and Maize County. That is the one that we are currently looking at. And actually with that last update, may have seen just a little bit more of a spin in there, a little bit more of a tilt with that velocity, just a little bit. You can see strong outbound winds. We still have the inbound winds. This is getting very close into Peggs. Tornado warning still in effect until 11 o'clock. If you are in Peggs, you need to be in your safe place now. And this is going to be continuing up to the northeast. And I'll actually do a quick update on the track of this storm since it is still in effect, and we just got an update on that too. Let me go ahead and set my wind speeds on this. And as we bring this forward, we're going to take this into the town of Peggs and continue it up to the northeast. There we are at Peggs 1035. That's pretty much right now. As we come in a little bit closer, see if we can pick up on a couple more towns. Not many towns in the direction of this, but Snake Creek, you are just to the north of the path of this. Pay attention. Even into Leech, pay attention to this as well. This is the one storm that we are currently concerned about for the potential of a tornado in the area. So as we clear this off, we're going to get a quick check of our debris tracker. James, what have you seen?
Yep, we do. We've got tornado with that now, close to Peggs. Let's take a look at high resolution Doppler radar. I've just looked at this. This is moving right into Peggs right now. Laura, you nailed it with that warning for Peggs just a few minutes ago. So people in Peggs, you got a tornado happening right now. We can confirm that with Fox23 Doppler radar. It is right in the velocity couplet, and we can confirm that as a tornado on the ground right now in Peggs, very close to Peggs and very close to the highway right now, right up through Peggs. So that's Highway 82 between Tahlequah, Peggs, and up toward Locust Grove. We've got a tornado down with this storm right now in Peggs. Here's what we're looking at. This is passing well to the northwest of Tahlequah right now. Velocity very strong right here. Very bright reds, very bright greens right next to each other. We kick on the correlation coefficient, and we're seeing that very strongly right now in the Peggs area. The darker blues, That is debris being lofted into the radar. Let me check the beam height on this. We're pretty close down to the ground, 1,500 feet above the ground. I'm going to go to correlation coefficient. We're going to see. So we still have, we lost it here at about 4,900 feet. So this is going to be a strong tornado down right now, very close to the community of Peggs. And this now suddenly becomes our top priority. And you can see now we have debris in the reflectivity signal of the radar. That's the very bright red happening right here. So we can confirm a tornado down with this storm. It's just moved through the community of Peggs in northern parts of Cherokee County. It's moved across Highway 82 and is now moving in the general direction of Teresita and very close to Rose. Let me back this up. We're going to advance this and watch that little tornado, that tornado right there form right over Peggs. Meteorologist Laura Mock nailed it with that increasing rotation, telling people to take cover as that storm moved toward Peggs. And indeed, we've got still a tornado down right here. So the tornado warning, we can clear Wagner County out of that tornado warning. It has moved into northwestern parts of Cherokee County. And there it is. That's the hook that you see right there. This bright red is actually debris in the radar signal right here. And then we go over to correlation coefficient, dual pole Doppler radar, and we see a pretty large area of lofted debris in this storm. So that's it right here. We've got a tornado down with that storm. Let me kick over to get that tornado warning back on, changed color, because now we've got a confirmed strong tornado here with this storm right in the Peggs area now. So we're going to zoom in and just give you a closer view. Actually, what let's do is update the track on this storm. First of all, we'll go back to reflectivity and our tornado down right now. This tornado warning that is showing is no longer in effect. I'm not really sure why that's still on the map, but for some reason the computer system did not cancel that out automatically. You can see here's our track moving northeast toward Leech, toward Oaks. This is going to be very close to Rose and Teresita, but we've got a tornado down right now with this storm. Let's go back to high resolution Doppler radar. There it is, the very bright red in the tip of that hook means that we've got debris not only showing up in dual pole and correlation coefficient, but we've got debris actually showing up in the reflectivity. Again, when you look up, we're seeing debris loft probably close to 5,000 feet, maybe a little bit taller with this storm right now. So that's it. Here is Peggs. This is Teresita. This is passing well to the north of Tahlequah, and it's going to pass well to the southeast of Locust Grove. Need to be in a safe spot, Teresita. Need to be in a safe spot in Rose. That means lowest level, center part, smallest room of your home. Again, as we zoom right in here with Fox23 Doppler radar, eventually this is going to be up very close to Leech. This is mile marker 17 on the Cherokee Turnpike. So as this moves to the northeast, it's going to be moving into the southwestern corner of Delaware County. A new tornado warning will be issued very soon for that storm too as it moves to the northeast. So as this moves across northern Cherokee County, a lot of trees. That's going to show up really well, lofting debris. And you can see this blue area is lofted debris, and you can actually see quite a bit of noise in the velocity return from this radar. I'm actually going to tip this up one notch. We go back a space because we get more tilts close to the ground, but that just shows you how strong that rotation was just to the west of Peggs. Let's go back into correlation coefficient again and then reflectivity. That really, we don't even need to look at the dual pole radar to see that we've got debris in this radar signal. That is a very significant amount of debris. The debris ball has actually gotten a little bit bigger here with that latest update. We're going to get a new picture in on velocity in just a bit. I want to check that velocity folding is being done by the computer okay here. Yeah, certainly, yeah, velocity folding. We are unfolding this velocity, but that circulation now just to the northeast of the community of Peggs. And look at that. That is a strong tornado that is probably on the ground. It's definitely on the ground, but it's likely a strong tornado right now. Jump back over to correlation coefficient again. I'm going to kind of tip up, maybe just see if we can see how high we're lofting that debris. There's some hint we're up to about 8,000 feet with some of that debris, so this is likely a strong tornado occurring right now. to the north of the community of Peggs right now. They're getting up. Laura's looking at the chart from a couple of researchers that have researched just how strong tornadoes are when they loft debris this high. We could check velocity on this, but we're still getting a little bit of noise in that velocity signal right now too. We go back up a tilt, and I think we can do it from this one right here. That's statistical correlation down on the bottom line. So we have at least an EF1 tornado, likely an EF2 plus tornado, and possibly an EF3 tornado based on just how strong that velocity is in northern parts of Cherokee County. This is going to move right into southwestern Delaware County right now, and you need to be taking tornado precautions all the way over toward Little Kansas and toward Oaks. I want to do an updated track on this very strong tornado, just about to move out of Cherokee County, and as it moves to the northeast, a new tornado warning will be issued along the Cherokee Turnpike. Now, let me tell you, nobody needs to be on the Cherokee Turnpike either between Rose all the way over to Little Kansas. That includes Leech and Bull Hollow. There's the new tornado warning that'll take it all the way to the Arkansas state line. As far as straight up towns in the path, Leech, Twin Oaks, and Bull Hollow. Let me zoom right into that storm. I'll get rid of that track just so we can zoom right in. This is going to be a very close call for Kansas, Oklahoma too. This is a classic now supercell tornado that's happening right now, moving out of northern parts of Cherokee County. Let's check in with Fox23 certified meteorologist Laura Mock. Laura, if you could update the track on that one. That is approaching Highway 412, Cherokee Turnpike, and that's going to be very close to, let's see, mile markers right around Rose, which would be mile marker 14 all the way over to mile marker 28. So nobody on the Cherokee Turnpike between Locust Grove and Little Kansas right now.
No, and as we take a look at Fox23 Doppler radar, anytime you see pictures of tornadoes on the radar, this is what you see. You have the hook, you have the debris right there. This is a very dangerous situation currently ongoing. This developed right over the town of Peggs, and as this continues to the northeast at 50 miles an hour, we're going to put a track on this, and I'm going to try and pick up as many towns as possible because you do not want to be out in this storm. Leech, 10:57, that's an estimated arrival time, but you need to be in your safe place right now. Twin Oaks, 11:04. Kansas, 11:10. This is an extremely dangerous storm currently crossing the county line there, and we're going to go ahead and come in a little bit closer to this. This is just textbook supercell tornado currently going on as we come in, taking a look at that. There's the town of Peggs on 82, 82A, just to the east here. We are now about to cross the county line here out of Cherokee County. Here's 412. You do not want to be on the road. If you know anyone on the road tonight, even going close to this area, make sure they get off the road and they get to a safe place. This is not a situation that you want to be on the road as this comes to your location. This is, I can't say this enough, this is an extremely dangerous situation. We've been detecting debris with this as well. Oaks, you need to be in your safe place. Peggs, this storm is now past you. If you do have any reports of damage, please send those to us. If there is damage in that area, we want to know. We want to know what kind of a situation that we're dealing with. But here's where it is currently. I'm going to come in a little bit closer, see if we can get some smaller roads on here, and it's not picking up on a ton, but there we go. Right in the center of this tornado, we are looking at North 495 Road here. Here's East 600 Road, 485, 590. If you are even close to any of these, you need to be as low as possible and as inside as possible. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Stay away from windows. Cover your head if you have a bike helmet. Put that on. If you don't, you can use a pillow to cover your head. This is the type of situations that you want to take seriously. We've been saying that all day, but this is why. And actually, there's an update. That storm continuing to move to the northeast. We are now continuing to get over the county line. This is now directly over the county line. 495 Road, here's South 500 Road, 598 Road, 4510 Road, now crossing the county line. If you are along 580 Road and 4520 road. This is heading in your direction, less than a mile away from you. Take cover now. And actually, as we come out a little bit more, we'll be able to see just a little bit more. Leech, this is heading directly in your, directly toward you. I'm going to put a quick 15-minute loop on this just so we can see how quickly that spun up. It started off as just a line of strong winds coming in, and now we have spun up into a very dangerous tornado. Closing in on 412 now. Locust Grove, you are in the clear from this, but Oaks, Leech, Kansas, take cover now. This is crossing the county line out of Cherokee County, currently heading toward 412. In fact, we are just miles away from 412. I'm going to go ahead and stop this and do a quick measurement on how close we are from this. We're talking 3 miles now from 412. Leech, very close to you now, just a couple of miles away. James, this is turning out to be one of those nights that we hate to be reporting on this, but this is what we were worried about. We are tracking a potentially just a very dangerous tornado currently tracking through our area. Yeah, you laid it out perfectly, warning the folks in Pegs as that tornado was spinning up just west of town. We spotted the debris being lofted into the radar as it approached Pegs, and here it is right on the county line. We're not looking at dual pole radar. We are looking straight up at reflectivity, and with that very high reflectivity, this is a large field of debris right now. In fact, I want to show you what this looks like with a cross section right now. It's going to be kind of hard to tell, but I'm going to move this up a little bit, and what we're seeing is this is tornado debris lofted up close to 10,000 feet, which makes this at least likely to be an EF2 tornado right now, maybe even stronger. Of course, that's a damage scale. But again, as we look at velocity, this is just almost just an extremely strong rotational velocity here. I'm going to place a marker here. We're going to actually look at that correlation of rotational velocity with tornado strength. And again, at least a very strong possibility we've got at least an EF2. It's not statistically unlikely, given those numbers, that we would have an EF3 tornado here right now. Of course, we'll know when we get out and look at damage, but this is clearly a significant tornado, probably the biggest tornado we've had in eastern Oklahoma since the November 30th tornado of last year, that strangely enough also tracked through parts of Cherokee County, very close to Lake Tenkiller. So as we look right in here, Laura did a great job coming down to street level with this. This is going to be right up on mile marker 17 over to about 28 on the Cherokee Turnpike right now. We're zoomed right in. This is Oaks, Little Kansas, Cloud Creek. This is Highway 59 up toward J. Let me tell you, folks, in Little Kansas, it's most likely going to be just to your west. Get up to Cloud Creek, get up to J. You folks, this is your alert. Be ready to move to a safe place. This is a powerful tornado that is happening right now in southwestern parts of Delaware County. This is the Cherokee Turnpike right here, mile marker 17 as it crosses over Old 412, Old Highway 33. This is 4540 Road. Looks like it's moving right up over 4540 Road, moving into the town of Leech. Right now, you've got seconds to spare. Get to a safe place, lowest level center part, smallest room of your home in Leech. This is deadly serious. In southern Delaware County right now, there is a tornado, and a strong one, taking place in southern Delaware County. New flash flood warning coming. Yep, tornado emergency, Leech, southern Delaware County. We've got tornado moving in right now. By the way, this is the first time the National Weather Service in Tulsa in 20-some years has ever issued a tornado emergency, and it is for this storm. Let's go back to a high-resolution Doppler radar. Here is Leech. Here is that big area of debris just getting ready to move into Leech, and we have a very strong tornado happening right now. It looks to me maybe the debris field and correlation coefficient has spread out just a tiny bit. If that's truly what's happening, and we won't know that for the next 5 minutes, we'll wait another couple of radar scans, but if that is truly the case, that could mean that the tornado is either cycling, starting to weaken, but it is still extremely dangerous moving right into Leech right now. So we've seen that spread on Doppler radar, but it is not enough to let your guard down. Here is the extremely strong rotation. In fact, maybe getting a little second circulation here on the east side of Leech.
the main circulation just moving up into Leech right now. We'll look at the correlation coefficient here. And again, we've got a big area of lofted debris in the radar. I showed you that cross section when we lifted the radar beam and looked right down. That debris, it was lofted into the air, and we obviously clearly have a strong tornado because it was lofting debris all the way up close to 10,000 feet. Now the rest of the metro area and northeast Oklahoma, much quieter than what we're seeing right here, but we do have this is our main tornado warning. Now we can clear Cherokee County and Mays County from the threat area here. That tornado has moved now into Delaware County. We still have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings in the metro area. If we see anything here, it's going to be just kind of brief type spin ups. This one moving into Delaware County is serious business for Jay, for Colcord, for Leech, especially right now as we look at the, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. I want to do an updated track because this is going to continue as it crosses the Cherokee Turnpike, move up across Highway 59, and then up toward the community of Jay as well. So we're going to give it about a 30-minute track here. And depending on the exact motion of this, Leech right now, Cloud Creek by 11:09. This is going to be very close to Colcord and very close to Jay. I want you folks in Cloud Creek, just to be safe, Little Kansas, also Colcord to take your tornado precautions right now. As this moves across southern Delaware County, we have had a major tornado down with this storm. And because of that, we do have that tornado emergency that has been issued for the community of Leech. That's right now. That tornado is moving up into Leech as we speak. So this is a very dangerous storm as it moves to the northeast. As I continue to look at this storm, that, again, tornado emergency has been issued by the National Weather Service in Tulsa as we watch this just extremely strong tornado that likely producing major damage right now in southern parts of Delaware County. It has produced some damage in parts of Cherokee County as well as it moved up toward the community of Peggs. So let's continue to track that storm to the northeast again, Leech and Cloud Creek, as it moves to the northeast, and that is going to be our major concern over the next few minutes with that tornado moving up across the Cherokee Turnpike and right up toward the community of Leech. So there is the circulation continuing to move to the northeast right now. It is in Leech, over Leech right now with that strong velocity, and as it moves to the northeast, we'll get an update just in the next few seconds here as that continues to slide to the northeast right now. I'm going to zoom right in. You can see our storm now on 412. It's on Old Highway 33 as well. This is a strong tornado moving to the northeast. It's going to be crossing Highway 59. You need to be in cover. Little Kansas, Cloud Creek, all the way up on 59 to Jay, all the way east on 116 toward Colcord, all the way through central parts of Delaware County. You need to be in your tornado safe place right now. This is a strong tornado. Getting an update right now on high resolution Doppler radar. I don't see as big of a debris loft in it right now. There is a chance that we could be seeing at least a little bit of a weakening trend here too. We're about 2,300 feet up, and again, the rotation now finally does look a little bit weaker. I'm going to show you this in just a second. Once I look at this, yeah, the magnitude of this rotation is just a little bit weaker right now. And so we watch this in southern parts of Delaware County. Let me go back to high resolution Doppler radar, and that's what we're looking at. So if we've got that tornado right in here. Let me show you velocity. And again, the strongest outbounds here, strongest inbounds right here, which puts that circulation kind of right just a couple of miles to the west of Little Kansas right now. So that's going to be pretty much right along Highway 33C and the Cherokee Turnpike right now. As that moves to the northeast, very close to Cloud Creek, the rotation is not as strong, nor is it as tight as it was just a few minutes ago, but it is still a tornado warned storm with the tornado emergency issued by the National Weather Service in Tulsa for the first time that phrase has ever been used by the National Weather Service in Tulsa, and that's takes you more than 20 years back as we track this storm. Again, the rotation not quite as strong. As I check, that tornado warning is going to be in effect until 11:30. Again, this is a supercell thunderstorm with a very strong structure, not only with the tornado here, but vertically through the atmosphere too. And that means sometimes these will continue to persist and be a threat to produce even more tornadoes as it continues to move toward the east. So not as strong a signal right now that we've got a tornado down with it, but we still have strong rotation, some evidence that we've got a tornado down with it right now. So we still take your tornado precautions. Little Kansas up 59 through Cloud Creek, all the way around the bend and up into the south part of the city of Jay. As that moves to the northeast, it'll be very close to Concord. Need you people in Concord to take your tornado precautions too. And then eventually this tornado will cross over the state line, moving into Benton County in northwest Arkansas, right, just probably looking at about 30 minutes away. Let me update you on the track of this storm. Still seeing strong indications that we've got a tornado down with it right now. Not as strong as the indications that we saw just a few minutes ago, but definitely a take your tornado precautions event still. Moving to the northeast, very close to Cloud Creek in the next few minutes. Sycamore by 11:23, but also I want to add on anybody on Highway 116 from Highway 59 all the way over to the state line, all the way up on Highway 59 to Jay, all the way east to Sycamore, this in southern parts of Delaware County. New update from the National Weather Service. They have dropped the tornado warning again for Cherokee County. That's what we shared just a minute ago as that rotation moved out of Cherokee County. Now, you've heard us talk off and on all evening about the boundary, the east-west front that was set up across northeast Oklahoma that helped focus a lot of this. As this tornado continues to move to the northeast, it will likely be moving on the cool side of that boundary. It is still a supercell, so it's got the internal structure to maintain strength, at least for a while, as it moves on the cool, more stable side of that boundary. But at least long term, that is usually a sign that we'll see a weakening trend with the storm. But right now, just north of Oaks, just to the west of Little Kansas, we still have a very dangerous situation with a likely tornado occurring now, southwestern Delaware County. As this moves to the northeast, it will be crossing Highway 59, very close to the community of Cloud Creek. Now, also want to stress we've got a lot of flash flood warnings that are still in effect across eastern Oklahoma right now too, including the Tulsa area. So in general, if you are anywhere north of a line from Little Kansas to Bristow, you're in a flash flood warning all the way up to the Kansas state line. Those flash flood warnings adding up, they're all in effect until after midnight. Just stay where you are is going to be the best plan. Now, while the heaviest rain looks like it's moving out of central Tulsa into parts of Bixby, South Tulsa, Broken Arrow, Wagner County, and Rogers County, we will still be contending with street flooding and high water for the next several hours, at least in some parts of the metro area, especially prone to that street flooding. Now, we're not going to shut off the rain either. We've got a lot of rain that goes all the way back to the west, but the overall severe weather threat is really just focused right in here in southern parts of Delaware County right now. Fox23 meteorologist Laura Mock has been watching that very closely, gave Pegs that first alert that a tornado was approaching, and that's where the tornado touched down first. Laura, what are you seeing over there as you look right at some of the Doppler radar imagery?
And just like you were saying, it does look like it's starting to weaken. It's not quite as strong as it was. The debris signature isn't quite as evident. But as we take a look at Fox 23 Doppler radar, that general rotation is still extremely evident. We are still seeing at least some debris being picked up. It might be remnant from earlier in the storm, a little bit earlier on in the path of it, but you still need to be taking this storm seriously. This is a very dangerous situation. As we take a look at its current location, Cloud Creek, Concord, even Jay, you need to be in your safe place right now, as we have seen history of this storm being extremely dangerous. Taking a look at the velocity of this, here's our rotation. You can see those inbound winds going toward the radar, very strong right around Cloud Creek coming into this storm. The reds going away from the radar, and of course when we have those two very close together, that is where our rotation is. Power
So
flashes,
may still have this tornado down now in Delaware County.
power flashes near Cloud Creek.
Yep.
You said on Highway 59.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a rotation. You have those very strong winds associated with this storm. Tornado likely still on the ground, and we can take a look at our debris tracker. And it's looking a little messy right now. It's not quite as evident. Let's back this up a little bit, kind of follow it through the last 10 minutes. And yeah, we're still looking very close to Cloud Creek. In fact, I'm going to come in a little bit closer with this, and we're going to track this street by street once again. So here's Highway 59, Cloud Creek. We are just north of 412 now. Here's 511 Road, the rotation right around here getting into Cloud Creek. If you are in Cloud Creek, you need to be in your tornado safe place now. Do not waste time. This is the time to take action. So at the rotation just on the south side of 511 Road,